Fantasy Mania 2. The War on Valademkin City. Chapter 10. It's the year 4085. So after Carbon Cry had left Earth's atmosphere and began his way back to what was left of his home planet, he was able to collect some of the food of what was still in orbit. But it had been very difficult to do. Millions of rocks had been in circulation in the mess and had encounters of collisions. He did everything he could to avoid any damages. While doing so, he has also tried to make contact with his wife's bot. But there wasn't any signal. He was truly devastated. He then knew there was no hope and continued to hang on to whatever he could. One day he saw a piece of land floating outside the window of the bot. He knew there was hope for finding food on it. He then turned on the grappling system and pulled the goggles over his head. He then carefully began attaching the bot and reaching out to observe the trees that had shown some signs of life. He then pulled out a section of the trees with a ball of dirt and retracted it into the bot. Soon the back latch opened up and brought it in. Thankfully, this floating rock was still in the habitable zone. Otherwise it would have frozen over and everything would have died. He pulled off his goggles and began his way into the room below. This was basically his only way to survive. And up till now, it's been working well. But what does the future hold for Carbon Cry? Find out later on in Fantasy Mania 2. The War on Valademkin City. To be continued.